Long ago, when the Protheans dominated the galaxy, they cultivated many of the more primitive races, including the Turians, Solarians, humans, and others who showed potential. Among these races, there is one that excelled above all the rest, becoming the first contemporary race to discover the mass relays and eventually establishing the Citadel Council. This race, which has always been at the heart of galactic society, is known as the Asari. Fact 1. Conception and Inspiration. According to the art of Mass Effect, the Asari were created to fill the green alien girls trope made popular by Star Trek. Asari architecture is inspired by the work of Santiago Calatrava, a structural engineer known for his work on the Milwaukee Art Museum and the Museum of Tomorrow in Rio de Janeiro. The Asari religion is similar to Minbari religion from the show Babylon 5 and may in fact be inspired by it. Finally, Asari is another name for Osiris, the Egyptian god of the Middle Kingdom. Fact 2. Background and History. The Asari arose on the planet Thessia under the cultivation of the Protheans. The Protheans created the guise of Athame, a benevolent goddess who gave the Asari knowledge and wisdom through her guides Janiri and Lucin. The Protheans also genetically altered the Asari to give them powerful biotic capabilities, and even defended Thessia from an asteroid strike and from a race called the Orovores. The Asari were the first contemporary race to achieve spaceflight and discover the mass relays in the Citadel. 60 years later, the Solarians made contact with the Asari, and together they formed the Citadel Council. Fact 3. Appearance and Biology. Asari possess a purple, blue, or in rare cases a teal complexion and have purple blood. They have no hair, instead they possess semi-flexible cartilage-based scalp crests. Asari are monogendered with no concept of male and female, but appear feminine and act feminine for the most part. Asari have about a 1,000-year lifespan, rivaled only by the Krogan. Fact 4. Asari reproduction. Asari cannot reproduce asexually, but can reproduce with a partner of any gender or species. This process is very different from normal sexual reproduction of most other races. During the process, an Asari provides 2 copies of genes to her offspring. One copy is unaltered, while the other is altered through a process called melding. The partner that does not give birth is dubbed the father, and the resulting offspring is always an Asari. Interestingly, pairings with the Krogan are not affected by the genophage and provide a way for a Krogan to circumvent the genophage and have children. According to Morden Solis, the offspring of Asari Vorcha matings are allergic to dairy products. Fact 5. Melding. During melding, the eyes of the Asari dilate as she consciously attunes her nervous system to her partner's. The two effectively become one nervous system, and the Asari uses the meld to explore her partner's genetic heritage and pass desirable traits onto any offspring. Ardent Yakshi are individuals with a rare genetic defect that causes them to destroy their partner's mind during melding. This condition occurs only in purebloods, a term for the offspring of 2 Asari. Asari can also meld for the sole purpose of sharing thoughts, as Liara does several times with Commander Shepard. Fact 6. The Stages of Life. Asari pass through 3 stages in life, determined by biological tendencies, personal feelings, and other circumstances. The maiden stage begins at puberty and is marked by a desire to explore and experience. The matron stage begins at around age 350, but can be triggered earlier if one melds too frequently. This stage is marked by a desire to settle in one area and raise children. The matriarch stage begins at around age 700, or earlier if the individual melds rarely. During this stage, the Asari become sages, bestowing wisdom from their centuries of experience. Fact 7. Asari Society and Culture. Because of their long lifespans, Asari tend to have a more long-term view of the world. Some Asari abandon all but a few possessions to become Justicars, whose duty is to correct injustices within Asari space, often through harsh means, such as death. All Asari are natural biotics, but some choose not to develop their biotic power. This precludes them from military service, but there is no social stigma attached to the decision. 2 Asari mating is frowned upon, and in fact the term pureblood is considered an insult. Fact 8. The Asari Religion. The mainstream Asari religion is called Siari, a term that roughly translates to all is one. It is a pantheistic belief system that espouses the universe is a consciousness, and every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole. The Asari celebrate the springtime fertility ritual Janeris, named for a Thames guide Janeri, which marks the start of the new year. During this time, they create rings of flowers and distribute them among loved ones. Fact 9. Crewmate Trivia. There are 4 Asari crewmates in the Mass Effect trilogy, all of whom are purebloods. First is Liara T'soni, a 106-year-old Prothean researcher and potential romantic interest for Shepard. Liara is modeled after actress Gillian Murray and voiced by Ali Hillis, who also voiced Hardling in Dragon Age Inquisition. Samara is a 1,000-year-old Asari Justicar with powerful biotic abilities. Her name roughly translates to guard or guardian in Hebrew. Morinth is an ardent Yakshi fugitive voiced by Natalia Sigliuti, who also voices Sigrun in Dragon Age Origins. The name of the vessel that transported Morinth off of Ilium is the Demeter, the same name as the ship that carried Dracula to England. This is one of many parallels between the ardent Yakshi and vampires. Aria T'Loak is the pirate queen of the space station Omega. She is voiced by Carrie-Anne Moss, who played Trinity in The Matrix. Peebee is an Asari member of Ryder's squad in the upcoming game Mass Effect Andromeda. She is described as goofy and bubbly, and will be a potential romantic interest for Ryder. Fact 10. Asari Worlds. There are a total of 21 Asari worlds. Thessia, the Asari homeworld, contains vast reserves of Element Zero and has been called the crown jewel of the galaxy. Agessia is a volcanic planet whose climate is unforgiving, and geography is ever-shifting. Hietiana is a near-freezing planet and a bastion of research for the Asari. It is also the homeworld of Peebee. Corinth is wrapped in a crushing haze of hydrogen and methane, and named for an Asari goddess of war and hunting. Nyakal is a lush planet with such a high concentration of oxygen that spending too much time on it could result in injury or death. Finally, Tukria is a dwarf planet named for a legendary archer from the Asari Iron Age. Between their elegance, diplomacy, biotic abilities, and more, it cannot be denied that the Asari are a highly advanced race. Given their role in forming the Citadel Council, galactic civilization as we know it today would not exist without the Asari. Many would argue, and justifiably so, that they are the most respected and influential race in the entire galaxy.